Anaconda download and we'll get the very first option. So that's what yesterday I gave it. Thank you, Rakesh sir. Thank you so much. Very good evening, sir. So the very first option is this anaconda.com. From anaconda.com, we are getting this individual edition. So this was the link. So I'm sharing this link as well. I'm sharing this link one more time. So those who have not yet downloaded No Issues, you can download it today. So how to download it? I copied this path. And yes, yeah, sure, Naranaji. I'm just sharing it. Please just give me a second. I'm resharing the link for downloading the. Okay, so I have shared the link. So if you'll open this page, you'll get this kind of thing. Your data science toolkit will be open. So you have to scroll down in the bottom. You have to scroll down in the bottom. And once if you scroll down in the bottom, there'll be option like Windows, Mac, and Linux. So according to your operating system, we have the download version. So if you're having a 64-bit operating system in your laptop, then download this one. If you have 32-bit architecture-based operating system, then download the second one. But maximum laptop nowadays, they comes with 64-bit. So around 95% all the faculty members, if you have, there are very high chances that nowadays, if you have a laptop, so you might have a 64-bit laptop. But again, if you have 32-bit, no issues, you can download accordingly. Okay, Multimem, no issues. Yeah, that will work. That is sufficient. Multimem, you can download this 32-bit. That would be the compatible. So that's hardly 400 MB, roughly I can say 410 MB. So it will take hardly a few minutes to download it. Okay. So by the time I'll be explaining, you can start downloading it so that once I'll complete the logic concept part, then yes, Neetu ma'am, if you have Jupyter installed via Anaconda, then you don't need to do anything. No ma'am, no Neetu ma'am. If you have already have the Jupyter from Anaconda, then don't need to reinstall. Okay. Katirvel Kumaran sir, thank you so much. Very good evening, sir. Neetu ma'am, you're welcome. Welcome, Neetu ma'am. So now, first of all, we'll be starting from this part from machine learning, then we'll go ahead with the deep learning. And now the question is why we have to learn it? Because both the techniques, their objective is common, that we have to make our machine intelligent. We have to make our machine intelligent artificially. So I'll explain how to use this technique to make our machine intelligent. Then later on, we'll learn about how to use deep learning to make our machine intelligent artificially. So we'll be starting from this machine learning and then we'll go on with the. So now this all comes under the predictive analytics of data science. So now we are going to emphasize on predictive analytics of data science, and that can be implemented. This is the one way, this is the second way. So we'll be starting from this one. So, oh yes, Rohan sir, yes, of course. Thank you so much. Welcome, Ritesh sir, welcome. Thank you so much. Suchita ma'am, thank you so much. Very good evening. Sure, Ritesh sir. Okay. So first of all, let me open. Very good evening, Raghu sir. I really welcome you. I welcome you all for this part of the session. So now, first of all, let me explain that what is machine learning. So this is the one of the most easiest definition. I will try to make you understand that what does it mean by machine learning. And it's a field of study that gives computer machine. Yes, Kathir Velukumaran sir, sure, you can download and you can install it. For hands-on implementation, installation is required, sir. So you can start downloading. Once it is downloaded, then you can just double click and next, and that will get installed. Okay. So here I was just explaining over here that it's a field of study that gives computer the power to learn, the ability to learn to perform, without being explicitly programmed. So this is the one of the definition. So let me explain this definition in my own way so that you can understand it in a simple and in a very easy way. Okay, all right, Kalpana ma'am. Yeah, because this is a rainy weather, so in some part of the India, it might be there. It could be some rain like cats and dogs. Okay, so anyway, uh, so please allow me to now explain this concept. So before I explain this definition, I have to ask some questions. I have to ask some questions, some kind of uh, silly questions. Just a minute, let me go back to this one. Yes. Okay. So there is a very small activity that I want to do it. Let's suppose this is the computer and I will ask three questions, in fact, three scenarios. And this is question number one. I'm going to ask a small question from everyone. This is a very simple question. Question number one is, I got a new laptop. Suppose we have purchased, we ordered online a new laptop and we got a new laptop, a brand new laptop. We switched on the new laptop and now after switching on this laptop, I want to play some video in this laptop. So as per your opinion, what what should be the first thing that I have to do in this computer if I have to play some video in laptop? So please write on your opinion in the chat box. Just whatever thought comes to your mind, whatever thoughts come to your mind, just come up with your opinion. Well done, Rohan sir, Manshi ma'am, well done. Okay, Aruna ma'am, thank you, Milind sir. Okay. Oh, well done. Speakers and intact. Yes, Himanshi ma'am, that's right. Download. Vinod sir, that's right. Deepak sir, fantastic. All right. Yes, Monica ma'am. Vidya ma'am, thank you so much. Yes, Ravindra sir. Uh, yes, Ravindra sir, that's right. Shanti ma'am, okay. Sundaramurthy sir, that's right. Neha ma'am, thank you so much. Some video. Yes, Ranjan sir, that's right. License to play. Okay, need to install required software. Well done, Malakshmi ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, Neeraj sir, I'm assuming that OS, that this is a proper working machine. And pricing, Ravin sir, pricing. Okay, I'll come to this point. OS and sound drivers and VLC. Okay, I think Vasanti ma'am, that's fantastic, impressive. Yes, Siddharth sir. Weights and battery capacity. Weight and battery capacity. Okay. 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 Yes, yes. Tamil Arsi, that's right, exactly. Um, yeah, Kekasan Jalaji, that's right. We need to check that. Sir, we have, I'm assuming that this is a new laptop we have already ordered. I've already switched on, right? Yeah. So, yeah, Kiran, my question was, suppose I ordered a new laptop and I got a brand new laptop and I switched on this laptop. Now, after I switched on, I logged into this machine. So after logging, I want to play some video. So my question was, what is the first thing that I have to do in the computer if I have to play some video? What thought comes to your mind? Okay. Yes, Milind sir, exactly. That's right. Uh, all right, Aruna ma'am, that's right. Oh, well done, Shanti ma'am, exactly. Fantastic, Arpan sir. Need for video software and the video card. Okay, that's right, Pooja ma'am. Okay, so let me tell you that let me conclude all of your answers. Uh, yes, Savita ma'am, I am assuming that I have already switched on the system and I've already logged into the machine. Okay, ma'am. After that, yes, Neha ma'am, exactly. Okay. Okay. Yes, Suresh sir, that's right. Fantastic. So can I say that if this system is already switched on and I've already logged into the machine, then the very first thing is I will say that I will say that if I have to play some video, I will say that the first step is we have to install the program or software of some video player software, like for example, VLC, for example. So first step is we have to first install the software. I'll say that the first step is we have to install the software. But only software installation is not sufficient. I think most of you have included this answer, the exactly same answer what I'm telling. Most of you have said that first we have to install the software, and then the second step is only software installation is not sufficient. If I only install VLC player, I cannot get videos. What the next thing? Second thing is I need the video data file. Video, some movie file or song file, any video file, MP4 dot MP, any file I need it. Either we can get it through pen drive or we can download it. So through any means, I need the data. So I need to supply these two components. I repeat, if I want my computer to play the video output, if I want my computer to play the video output, in that situation, I need two broad components. Number one, the software. I have to install the software. Number one is I have to install the software is program, the program of VLC. So even can you see that if I click over here, so I may get a list of programs. Can you see that these all are the programs? These all are the all programs. So similarly, I can, if you can see that this is all program. These are the few of the programs that are available over here. And if I show you something, apps and features, let me open. No. Okay. So anyway, these are the two components, right? So I already told you that I will ask three questions. So this was the first question, that we have to install the software and we also need to download and supply the input data file. Then only in this machine, the VLC software will play the data file, will play the movie data file and will get the video output on the monitor. Okay, so I have another question, question number 2. And my question is, Suppose I want to get the addition result. I want to see the addition result of these two numbers, 3 and 4. Suppose I want to know that what is the addition result of 3 and 4 from this machine. So if I need answer of addition of 3 and 4, and this output I need it from this machine, this is my question number 2. So I've written in blue color. So this is my data, 3 and 4 is my data, and I want addition result from my machine. So, okay. Sure, no issues, Kalpana ma'am. Don't worry. If you miss some part, when you'll reconnect, I'll give you recap in the last. All right, Kalpana ma'am. Okay, so my question is, if I need the addition result of these two numbers, what the first thing that I have to do in the computer? What thought comes to your mind? Okay, yes, Kiran ma'am, that's right. Okay, yes, Pooja ma'am, Suresh sir, fantastic, very good. Yes, Malti ma'am, Deepak sir, Ramesh sir, Suchita ma'am, well done. Afrin sir, Nidhi ma'am, Mithilesh ji, thank you so much. Mithila ma'am, thank you so much. Oh, well done, excellent, very innovative example. Yes, I think very fantastic, accurate. Yes, CB Saran sir, that's right. Vasanti ma'am, that's right. Shanti ma'am, fantastic. Yes, exactly, Nia ma'am, that's right. Bharti ma'am, that's right. Exactly. We can say, I think that's a very fantastic answer, Bharti ma'am. Yes, Mahalakshmi ma'am. Milind sir, that's right. Yes, Monica ma'am. Ranjan sir, that's right. Okay, so I think now all of you are convinced that the first thing is, I need to install the software of calculator. This is the first step. First step is, and that calculator software, either you can download and then install it, either you download and install it, or you can write on your own program for addition of calculation by using either C, C++, Java, Python, any language. You can write on your own program. You can write on your own program to, I'll say that, to the program of addition. So first step is we have to install the software. Let's suppose the software of calculator, right? Software of calculator. But only software installation is not sufficient. We need to supply the input data. This is the step number 2. So now this machine will process this data, input data, 3 and 4, according to the logic written in the calculator program. See, what did I say? Logic means if logic contains A plus B, then we'll get the addition result. If logic contains A minus B, then output will be the subtraction of the values. So again, I'm asking these weird questions. So I already told you that I will ask 3 total weird questions. So I think in this example also you have seen that these are the 2 components. Now the last question. Question number 3. Question number 3. Yes, Pooja ma'am, I agreed. Ma'am, Pooja ma'am, I said that I need a calculator software in the computer. Either you download it, or you write your own program, or from where you are purchasing, the vendor from there you are purchasing, either they will install and then they will sell the computer to you. So by anyhow, I need the software of calculator. Okay. yes, exactly. Okay, so see, I am telling this example. My purpose is to explain something else. Of course, I know that all these things everybody knows is actually there's nothing, but actually there is something, some context is there that I have to. I want you all to make you convinced. There is something that I have to explain with the help of these examples. Okay, so my third and the last this weird example, in fact, question is, again, I want your opinion. If I have to play some game in my laptop, what do you think? What is the first thing that I need to do in the computer? Yes, Bharti ma'am. Slightly, actually, somewhat like that, ma'am. Exactly, exactly. Now I could see that. Exactly. Yes, that's right. So, Mithilesh Aryaji, that's right. Search and install, right? Search and install. If whatever game I have to play, first search and install it. But only suppose some game is any game software, right? Any game software. So first step is you have to install it. This is the first step. Is we have to install the game. But only installation of the software game is not sufficient. We need to feed the input data also. I repeat, I want to emphasize, only software installation is not required. We need to feed the input data. I repeat, we need to feed the input data. So this hardware machine will process the input data according to the logic of the program. See, in game, suppose if you install the game, now suppose this game is all about racing game. So you have to feed the input that your character should take left turn or right turn or jump or slow down or increase the speed. So through your keyboard, WASD keyboards, from the keys from the keyboard, you have to feed some input. You have to feed some input, right? So machine will process the input data according to the logic of the program to produce the output. To produce the output. And all these three examples that I've explained, all three examples, I already know that you all are already aware. Now, the $1,000,000 question is, who have written these softwares? Who have developed this? Are these softwares automatically available in the computer? Means these softwares are already part of the default part of the hardware? Who have developed these programs? Exactly. So exactly. So I think I got lots of answers. Okay. Okay. Yes, exactly. Suresh sir, you have written company. So in company, of course, there will be some employee. Can I see Suresh sir? Of course, some company will install, but like there could be some individual professional as well. So even if company is installing, of course, there would be some human, some engineer, some programmer, some professional that will install, isn't it, sir? Okay, exactly. So can I conclude in nutshell? Can I conclude all these softwares are not automatically available internal to the computer? Please pay attention to my statement. All these softwares are not automatically available internal to part. They are not internal part of this hardware. All these softwares, first they have been developed by some human being, programmer, developer, engineer. There are different profiles, right? Programmer, developer, software engineer. So any human, means some human is there. So can we say these programs are human written programs? Can we say, are you agreed with me that all these programs are human written programs? And can you say these programs are not internally automatically available? They all are external softwares. I repeat, external means first human will manufacture them. First human will manufacture them. First human will manufacture them. And once human will manufacture, once the software is manufactured, now I can install those softwares any computer. Okay. Okay. Yes, exactly, Mithilesh sir. That's what even Mithilesh ji, even if we talk about uh, system software also, so they are also human written, isn't it, Mithilesh sir? Yes. So once the software is developed, then we can install those software in any compatible machine. On any compatible machine, we can install them. So all these human written programs are there is a new term. I'll say that they are known as external programs. So today I'm using a new terminology. that new terminologies. From now on onwards, all human written programs are also known as external programs. I repeat, all the human written programs will be known as uh, external programs. I repeat, they are known as external programs. Why external programs? Because they are not automatically available internal to the computers. They are not developed automatically internal to the computers. Some human being, suppose VLC software in your laptop, the VLC software was developed by some other programmer in other machine, right? This software was developed somewhere else. Some human has developed that software, and once the human has developed that software, now we are downloading it, we can install it. So the VLC software in my computer, I will say that is the external program. That is the external software or external program because they are human written. So all these external programs, I'm going to give you a new terminology right now. External programs are also known as a new terminology, explicit programs. So please remember, when I will be using the word, whenever I'll be using the word external program, so this actual technical term is explicit program. So please remember, all human written programs are known as explicit program. So can you tell me, MS Excel, is it an explicit program? What's your opinion? If I talk about Excel, MS Excel, is it an explicit program? Yeah, it's a package, but can we say it's an explicit package? Afrin ji, Shubhi ma'am, of course we can say, because Excel software is also developed by employee of Microsoft, and then the software was developed by human beings. That software is also written by human beings. Excel is also developed by human beings. Okay, suppose interest calculator software, can we say that is also written by human being? So now I'm going to give you a terminology. All human written softwares are also known as explicit program. I repeat, all human written programs are known as explicit programs. So today yes, yes, sir, that's what actually the most, I'll say that fascinating part of this entire topic. Come back to the definition that I have just discussed. Now look at this. I already explained that what does it mean by this word explicit. I hope in a very depth, I have depth dive and explain about the word explicit means any program, the external program, any external program, or I can say any software, any program, if it is written by human being, they are known as explicit. So in the data science, in the machine learning of data science, in the machine learning of the data science of AI, so what is machine learning? It's a field of study. It's a field of study. Thank you so much, Neeraj sir. Thank you so much for this compliment. Exactly, Vijay ma'am. Exactly, Vijay sir. System software and application software, both of them are human written. So they all are explicit softwares, right? But in this FDP, what we are going to learn, what is the objective in this FDP? Look at this. Machine learning is a field of study that gives computer the ability to learn, but without being explicitly programmed. That's the most important point. Means in this FDP, what we are going to learn, how can we make this machine, how can we provide that power to this machine so that this machine can perform. But for that performance of machine, we don't need to supply human written program. we don't need to supply explicit programs. In the machine, in the AI, in fact, not machine, I'll say that in AI, what we have to do, in AI of the data science, what we have to do, we have to provide that power to the machine so that this machine can work. But that performance of machine, for that performance of machine, we don't need to require human written programs. Technically speaking, explicit programs. Machine will develop its own program internally, and those internally developed program by machine. Please, I repeat, I just want to emphasize one more time. The programs that were developed by machine internally, they are known as implicit program. They are known as implicit program. Means a program which was not written by human. Machine will learn and can you see this image? This machine is reading something from the book, right? This is just a symbolic logo. I have used this one beautiful image that here this robot is learning, and it will develop its own program, and that program is known as implicit program. Implicit program. So I hope now, please, I request everyone, please give me confirmation that now are you okay that what we have to do in machine learning? Oh, thank you so much. Riju sir, thank you so much for such a lovely compliment. Thank you so much. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. So now I hope one of the faculty member has asked that what is implicit. Okay, I'll explain. Krishna sir, thank you so much for such a lovely compliment. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, Mithlaji, sure. I'll give you an example of implicit program. Sure. But anyway, before going ahead with the example, first, please do let me know that now are you able to understand the difference between explicit program and implicit program? The straightforward is, if something is human written, if something developed by a human, that is explicit. If something is not by human, if something is developed by machine, that is implicit. So in this FDP, actually we are not going to discuss on explicit program. In this FDP, we are going to discuss about implicit program. Implicit program means some program developed by machine. So what are the example, how to develop, everything we'll discuss. But before I proceed, it's very, very important that at least you should be very much comfortable with these terminologies, right? These terminology. Okay. Yes, I think CB Saranji, you have written a very fantastic definition. Exactly. Thank you so much, Ashutosh sir. Thank you so much. Rubelji, thank you so much for this lovely compliment. Thank you so much. Okay. So anyway, because in this entire FDP, we will only talk about implicit programs. So I'll show you very huge number of examples in upcoming part of the session. But before that, I have 3 more questions. Every time I come up with 3 questions. Okay. So 3 questions. Okay. My first question is again, these questions, sir and ma'am, I already told you in the very beginning that all these examples, they all are created, designed and invented by me only. You won't find these kind of examples anywhere on the internet. So for fun and just to make you understand all this concept in a very easy way, I created and invented all the examples. So some example that might sound some weird, but at the end, they will give you some learning. They will give you some understanding about a subject matter. So again, I'll be going to ask some 3 weird questions. My first question is, The very first question, if I say that, just a second, just uh, yes. So my first question, and again I request, please, I want your opinion. I want your opinion. So my question number one, in fact, use case number one, or say the question number one. If there is a person and that person want to play some guitar, if there is a person who want to play guitar on the stage in front of audience, so I am saying that before before playing the guitar on the stage in front of audience, that person has to first learn the playing the guitar. Learn the playing guitar. Are you agreed with me? Are you with me? Oh, really? Thank you so much. Thank you, Krishna sir. Thank you so much for such a lovely. and uh, I really like that. Thank you so much, Krishna sir. Thank you so much. Okay, I hope all of you agreed with me that first person has to learn. Okay, now learn the guitar, right? Okay, my question number two. Yes, Jansila ji, that's right. You are reaching very. You are actually getting very right intuition that what I want to explain. Exactly, Umashri ma'am. That's right. Exactly. Fantastic. Three wishes of Jani. Thank you, Rohan sir. Okay, so now question number two. If there is a person who wish to cross a river by swimming, if there is a person who want to cross a river, there is a river, and there is a person, that person want to cross the river by swimming. So I'm saying that before doing this task, this person has to first learn the swimming. Learn the swimming. Are you agreed with me? Yes, yes, determination to learn, exactly. Okay. Yes, Katri Valanji, that's right, exactly. Okay. Now last question. Last question. If there is a person who wish to go for outing on a long drive, if there is a person who wish to go for a picnic or a outing or on a date on a long drive, so I'm saying that before going for that on a long drive by driving to some place on picnic, before going that person has to first learn the driving. Learn the driving. Are you agreed with me? Okay. Driving license, exactly. No, Vinod sir. Actually, the question is if some person wish to go for a picnic by self-driving on a long drive. All right. So he or she, if somebody wants to go on a by self-driving, so we can say, of course, that first the person need to first learn the driving car. Okay, and of course, Vasanti ji, that's very excellent example. Actually, that's what is the something that I will come back. Ultimately, I'm not assuming that in India right now it's not allowed. It's not yet permitted in India as an automatic car, but most probably in next few couple of not more than a couple of days, less than a decade, we might get some autonomous car in India as well, of course. Uh, but did you notice there is something common in all of my examples? Something common is, see, the purpose of all these example is of course, I know you all knows all these things. But the purpose of all these questions is there is something which is common in all the examples, that if human has to perform something, human has to first learn to do that particular task. If you want human to do some task, I say that human has to first learn to do that task. Exactly. So I hope all of you agreed with me that human has to first learn to do the task. Okay. All right. And I hope you remember I told you what is AI. What is AI? AI means whatever task, intelligent task that human can do, I want the same task also to be done by machine. That's what is the AI. That's what the AI. That whatever intelligent task means the capability to make right decision at right time. So whatever intelligent task that human can do, if the same task I want to be done by machine, right? So then we'll say that machine is intelligent. The question is how? So exactly same way, the way human has to first learn and then human has to perform. Human has to first learn and then human has to first perform. Exactly in the same way. If we want our machine also to be done some task that human is doing till now, the same task if we want to be done by machine, so machine also need to first learn to do the task. Yes, Rohan sir. Yes, Milind said that's right, exactly. So I think now you all are getting that why this word learning comes with the machine. Uh, uh, can I have a small confirmation that why these two words are written together, that machine and learn? These are two terms that the way human has to first learn and then perform, exactly same way. If we want the same task to be done by machine, so machine also has to first learn and then machine can perform. Yes, sure, Malti ma'am, sure, of course, please. Uh, sure, Malti ma'am. Machine learns by its own. No, Milind sir. Machine won't be able to learn by its own. Machine won't be able to. We have to train the machine. We have to. I'll come back to that point. That how to train, how to learn, how to check everything. I'll explain one by one. But I think I hope now I am assuming that everybody got idea that why these two terms are together. Why these two terms? Because we want machine to be done, machine should do the task for us. But how machine will do? Machine also need to first learn. Yes, Vijay Tripathi, that's right. But before answering your question much more depth detail, yes, Malti ma'am, that's what I told that in this entire FDP, we will only learn about implicit. So please do not worry about that. Uh, for the moment, just for the moment, for right now, you just assume that if there is a software, if there is a program, if machine is developing, then we'll say that it is implicit. So for the moment, I request just take this definition, right? But actually, what does it sense by this statement? I will explain in the upcoming part. All right, ma'am. Just for the moment, I request just for the moment, you take this definition that anything that is not written by human is implicit program. Anything which is not written by human is implicit. All right. So why it is known as implicit, how it is developed, what to do, what we have to do, what everything, every process I'll explain one by one, step by step. But again, First, let me build a foundation so that, see, let me tell you that, are you, all of you, are you here about the jargon? Jargon means, like there are two people from medical background, right? There are two people from medical background. When they speak with each other, they'll use lots of terminologies that can be only understood by, I'll say that, only two people from medical field. Like if two doctors are talking, so they will say that MRI, CT scan, right? So like common people, they do not understand what does it mean by MRI, what does it mean by CT scan. So these are the some terminologies that are known as jargons, right? Jargon is domain specific terminology. So right now I'm trying to give you familiarize with a few terminologies that I will be using in the hands-on implementation. All right. So, okay. So one last example, another last example. And in fact, that is not example, that is the use case, a scenario, that is a simple scenario. And again, I recommend that you all should provide your opinion. And again, that's a kind of very interesting story. And as I told you that all these stories are designed by me, you won't find anywhere. So please do not try to search anywhere on the internet because they all are created by me so that I can explain all this topic in a very easy and a very in a fun and interesting way. All right. So, okay. So, first of all, let me tell you a story. In fact, not a story, there's a use case scenario. Suppose this is you, right? This is just imagine that this is a person, or this is just put yourself in this place. There is a person, there is you, and you have two of your good friends, friend A and friend B. Friend A and friend B. And you have purchased your new big dream car. You purchase your new big dream car. You purchase a new big dream car. Right? Suppose I have drawn some beautiful car. Let's suppose you purchase your big dream car. You purchase your new big dream car, and you have two of your good friends. Let's assume that. Yes, Malti. So now, because you purchase a new big dream car, yes, thank you, Rohan sir. So you have purchased a very good dream car, and you have two of your good friends, right? You have two of your good friends, friend A and friend B. So because you purchase a new big dream car, so you and both of your friends, both of them are very good friends of yours. So you all three were very happy. You all three were very excited. Just imagine a situation that you got a car, your big dream car, and because you got a new car, you purchased a new car, and friend and friend, both of all of them are very happy, and you all three had a grand party. You all three had a grand party, achhi wali party. You all had a grand party at your home. You also had a grand party in the car, right? You all three had a grand party, achhi wali party. And after having a great cold drink and all, a good party, you all three had a grand party together. And after having a grand party, achhi wali party, now you all three decided that let's go for some outing for a picnic. Let's go for some outing or a picnic. All right, let's go for some outing and picnic. So you all three said, okay, it's okay. But this person, your friend A, he or she has learned driving a car just 4 days back. Your friend A, he or she has learned driving the same type of car from just last 4 days. इसने इसने just 4 दिन पहले 4 days पहले car driving सीखी. Let's imagine this person, the friend A, your friend A, he or she has learned driving a car just 4 days back. And this friend B, he or she has learned or he or she is already driving the same type of car from last 4 years. All right, from last 4 years. So this is the some fact about these two friends of yours. And now you all three had a grand party. You all three are excited. You all three were happy. And you all three decided, let's go for some outing. Let's go for some picnic. You all three agreed. But after having a grand party, now both of your friends now insisting कि गाड़ी तो मैं ही चलाऊंगा. Both of the friends insisting that they wish to drive your new big dream car. So now I have given the complete scenario. Now my question is, just put yourself in this place that you have purchased a new car, right? And my question is, if you have to go to the picnic and outing, so to whom will you allow to drive your new big dream car, A or B? And you have to choose any one of them out of these two given options. Thank you, Anjali. Oh, really, Pooja ma'am? Okay. Yes, Himanshi ma'am. See, it might sound this example is some weird, but actually it is related with some AI and machine learning. It is having some relationship with the AI. Miss, the subject that I'm explaining, this example is related with, is very much related with the concept of machine learning. I will explain in a few minutes, but just I want your opinion. This example is relevant with the machine learning, but right now I want your opinion. No, Ranjan sir, actually, you have to choose any one of them. You have to choose. If you have to choose any one of them. Yes, Rohan sir. Okay. Yes. Jay Bharti ji, you said A. Okay. Okay. Jay Bharti ji, are you sure that if you purchase your new big dream car and if you get to know that this person has just learned 4 days back, and just 4 days back, and this person said that I will drive your big expensive car. And I'm assuming both of the friends are good friends of yours. They are equally good friends. Like there's no kind of bias. They're equally good friends. Yes. So I could see that approx now everyone is convinced that almost most of you have convinced that you will go ahead with B. So let me tell you, actually for this answer, well done, Sudesh sir. No, ma'am. Actually, that doesn't matter, Pooja, ma'am. It could be anything. They could be anything, ma'am. It doesn't matter. Both of them are good friends of yours, right? Okay. Okay. So there is nothing is related with like a girl or boy. You all three are good friends. That's all. Okay. All right. So, of course, I did not ask this question just to get this answer, either A or B. Now, my $1 million question is, YB, YB, YB. Yes, Rasul said that's right. But my question is why B? Exactly, Vijay, exactly. Fantastic. Exactly. 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 Well done. Fantastic. Impressive. Almost all have given 100% correct answer that B is having more experience. Okay. So now my one more question is, so what if B is having more experience? So what to do with more experience? What will happen with the help of more experience? What will happen with the help of more experience? Or what to do with the more experience? What will happen because B is having more experience? What are the benefit that B is more experience? Yes, Rohan sir. Exactly. Exactly, Lennon sir. That's right, Bharti ma'am. That's right, Neeraj sir. Exactly. We just said Subhash sir. Amit sir, that's right. Well done, Tarajan sir. Anjana ma'am. Yes, Nia ma'am. That's right. Shilpa ma'am. Fantastic. Yes, yes, Sujata ma'am. Well done, Vidal sir. So can I say that more experience? Exactly. I think Sheikh sir has written a very good example that can take right decision. Exactly. Okay. So now let me conclude all of your answers. Around more than 350 participants are connected, and you all said that friend B is having more experience, right? So when I asked, so what to do with more experience? So you all said that more experience means less chances of dent and scratch or accidents, right? Or I'll say that B will handle the situation much better as compared to A. So can I conclude all of your answer in a nutshell? Can I say that if point X to point Y, if I have to drive a car from point X to point Y, so can I say that if person B will drive your car, then the possibility of scratches and dents or accidents of your car will be comparatively less in B as compared to A? Can we say the dent and scratches of your car will be less if B will drive as compared to A? So can we derive a theorem out of it? Can we derive a theorem that can we say that can we say that experience more experience means less errors? Can we say like that? Can we design this kind of theorem or this kind of concept? In fact, more experience means less error. Okay, but can I say the same statement in a way that more experience with less error, or we can say high accuracy? Are you agreed with me? Can I say more experience means less error, or we can say high accuracy? Both of the statements are same. Exactly. Exactly. So till now, I have explained two things. Number one, that if we have to perform something, number one, we have to learn first. This is the first theorem or first conclusion. And number two is, after learning, if experience is more, if experience is more, then I'll say that it says that error will be low. Low error. More experience means low error, or we can say high accuracy. High accuracy. So these two conclusions we have got from this. Okay. So now suppose we can say there are two person A and person B. This person has just learned playing the guitar from last 4 days. Like 4 days. And person B, he or she is playing the guitar from last 4 years continuously. So can we say that B will play the guitar much better with high perfection, high accuracy? Means the errors in the notes will be less by B as compared to A. Exactly. So finally, can I say that whenever we talk about learning, can we say experience matters? Can we say experience matters? Are you convinced with me that experience matters? If experience will be more, error will be less or accuracy will be high. Okay. So if you all are convinced, now please notice I said that more experience, I repeat, more experience means there are two statements. Number one, more experience means I can say that less error, or I can say statement number two, high accuracy. I'll say that high accuracy. Yes, Jayavarti, that's sure. I'll give lots and lots of examples. Thank you, Rohan sir. Thank you. So I can say that high experience, more experience means we can either say less error or high accuracy. Both the statements are same, but still in entire AI, we put our entire power, entire logic, entire time, entire effort to reduce the error. By anyhow, if we are succeeded in reducing the error of the machine, automatically it implies that accuracy of machine is high. So please remember, this is a rule, this is a thumb rule in entire AI. I'll tell all the AI project of the world, I repeat, all the AI project of world, their core concept is we write all the coding, all the programming, all the logic just to reduce the error. Please remember, our main focus is to reduce the error. Our main focus is not on increase the accuracy. No, we always try to reduce that, even though the meaning, the feeling of this statement and statement are same, that I need better performance. Both the statement says that more experience means better performance. But for better performance in entire, all the AI project of the world, they try to reduce the error. Please take it one statement from my side. All the AI algorithm, they all are simply just reduce the error. No, Vinod sir, if something is 100% accurate, Vinod sir, I will say that accuracy is a very, very misleading term in the AI. Let me tell you this, accuracy is a very, very misleading term. So that's why in AI, we never go with the accuracy. So there are other ways like precision, recall, F1 score. And in case, if there is 100% accuracy, then there is a very, very high chances of overfitting. So again, Vinod sir, what is overfitting? How to overcome with overfitting? So these all are the terminologies I'll be discussing. But straightforward, I will say that no, your answer that can we get 100% accurate error or error free? I'll say that no. All right, if something we are getting 100%, it means the model is overfit. And that is too bad. In case of underfit and overfit, Vinod sir, if you have to select two out of overfit and underfit, if you have to choose any one of the option, I always say that go for underfit. Don't choose overfit. Overfit is always bad. Just like I'll say that underconfidence is okay, but overconfidence is in this AI is not okay. Overconfidence is not okay. So yes. So what does it mean by that 100% accuracy and all? I will explain it with very interesting story and example. So don't worry about that. But the main point is, yes, Anjali ma'am, I request just leave those terminologies for right now uh, because so many faculties are there, those who are absolute new. In fact, most of the faculties are absolute new in the field of data science and machine learning. So if I'll be explaining that their precision and recall values, if I'll talk about their different type of like classification reports, so that might not sound, the most of the faculties, they might not uh, connect with that. So just put it on a pause for a few part. So once as I said, that jargon is, first let me make you familiar with the terminologies, right? So first, people should understand what does it mean by overfit, how to identify that what is overfit, what is underfit, and how to decide what is overfit, what are the issues when overfit is there, why overfit is very worst as compared to underfit. So if you are not familiar, yeah, exactly, these are the taxonomy, exactly taxonomy, or we can say jargon kind of thing. So yes, sure, exactly. So I hope one thing is there, that now you all see that uh, we can say that experience matters, but high experience means, more experience means, we can say either or less error or a high accuracy. But let me tell you that all the AI project of the world, they try to reduce the error. Means entire effort goes to reduce the error. Technically, let me write one statement in AI. In AI, let me write one small statement. In AI, we have to minimize the error. Please no, learn this statement. This is the thumb rule. All the AI project of the world, they work, their actual implementation, the core implementation concept is based on this line: minimize the error. And once, if we are capable, if we are succeeded in minimizing the error, automatically the accuracy of the machine will automatically increase. All right, that is going to be increased automatically. Look, let me explain it some example, that why we do not accept increasing, why do not put effort to increase the accuracy rather than we put our effort on decreasing the error. Let me give you some story. Suppose if there is a cricket match, and in this cricket match, at the beginning of cricket match, a coin has to be tossed. So have you ever seen that if Dhoni has, if coin is tossed and Dhoni said that okay, that would be head, right? The coin face will be head. Let's suppose if I say that coin face will be head. So I can say that if I have to say that coin face will be head, I can also say that it won't be the tail. I repeat, I can say that will be head, or I can say that it won't be the tail. So that also signifies that I want to say that it will be head. Uh, Please give me confirmation. Are you with me that if I toss a coin and I'll say that the coin will be fall down on the face of head. So I can say that will be head. This is my first statement. That will be head. But I can also say that that won't be the tail. If I say that won't be the tail, also signifies that uh, that I want head. But have you ever seen that the coin has tossed and Dhoni says that no, that won't be tail. So there are two statements, but every time we adopt one statement, but we do not adapt second statement. Exactly same way in entire AI, I'll say that if we have two options, that reduce the error or increase the accuracy. So our effort will be to reduce the error, right? And why we have to adopt this one, why we do not adopt everything, I'll explain with the help of I'll be explaining with the hands-on implementation example. All right, I'll be explaining with the help of example implementations. Okay. So now we have learned all the basic foundation and fundamental that yes, Prakash sir, we will talk about that. Yeah. Okay. So now let's come back to this part that let me open. Yeah. So let me play this. Now we are coming to the hands-on implementation part. So from hands-on implementation point of view, all the programming, all the coding that you have done till now by using C, C++, Java, or .NET, C Sharp, all the programming that we have done till now, all the programming that we have done till now, I will say that they all programmings are known as traditional programming. And in this FDP, the hands-on coding that we will do, that is known as machine learning ML programming or AI programming, right? Traditional programming or ML programming. So all the programming that we have done, we followed this architecture. But in machine learning programming, the coding that we are going to write on, we are going to follow this architecture. Now, I request everyone, please analyze these two architectures very carefully and try to find out some differences. There exist some differences between both of them. So please try to, because that's what the architecture we have to follow in throughout the practical implementations. So please, can you analyze the difference between traditional programming and machine learning programming? Yes, exactly, Bharti ma'am, Pooja ma'am, that's right. Exactly. Exactly. Uh, Kalevani, that's right. Exactly. You guessed very perfect. Exactly. So all the programs, all the codings, all the hands-on implementation that you have done till now, what we did, we normally have to install the explicit program. And we need to supply the input data to the computer machine. And then computer machine process the input data as per the logic of explicit program to produce the output. To produce the output. But in machine learning, in machine learning, what to produce the output data. In machine learning, look at it. We need to feed the input data and we need to feed input data and output data to the machine, and machine will generate a new program. Please notice what did I say? Machine will generate a new program. So please tell me, if program is generated by machine, can we say that it is explicit program? Or what terminology should be the better describing this program? That it is not human written program. This is machine generated program, or we can say implicit program. So today's the biggest lesson, today's session in today's FDP, the biggest lesson is, if I ask you what is the output of any AI program, what the output of any AI based program? Output of any AI based program is another program, and that program is machine generated program. Means if I say normal program in normal computing, the output is the data, right? Output is the data that will be generated by the program. But in AI, in data science, in AI, the output is another program, or a better, I will use more appropriate term is, output is implicit program. And implicit program is a program that is not written by human being, a program that is written by machine. Now talked about input data and output data. What does it mean by this? Is nothing, this is the old data. This is old data, or I'll say that this is historic input data and historic output data. Yes, Vinod sir, exactly. We can see that implicit program. Exactly, we can see that program. Yes, in hands-on implementation, I will show you that the machine generated program. We can see that. We can see that. We have to use that. Of course, if we cannot see it, how can we use it? We will see that. We will use that. We will do the prediction by using in the hands-on implementation. All right, Vinod sir, I will show you in the hands-on implementation part. So, so the biggest lesson of today's FDP is that if I ask you what is the output of AI program, the output of AI program is another program. Oh, thank you so much, Malti ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, Mithilesh sir. The models are the synonyms of implicit program. Exactly. Yes, Mithilesh sir. That's right. Mithilesh ji, that's right. That is. So models are nothing. They are also known as implicit programs. Exactly, Ranjanji, that's right. So what AI program does? AI program does analyze the old input data and output data and produce the program. Oh, sorry. I'm extremely sorry, Mithilesh ma'am. I'm extremely sorry. I really apologize for that. Yes, Mithilesh ma'am. I'm extremely sorry for that. Okay. Oh, but no, but it's really. Thank you so much, Shanti ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, I really apologize, Satya ma'am. I really apologize for that. So, okay. So here, I just want to say that thank you so much, Bharti ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, Dineshji, I will explain the concept of deep learning, and also I will explain from the same way of story and all. And really, you will love. In fact, Uh, See, I do believe that technology is only boring, but if we mix the technology with some stories and some use case and with some real life examples, so that is one of the most interesting subject. Yes, okay. Yes, Monica ma'am, the output of AI program is another program. So here we will write down our AI code, but that AI code will be the explicit code. I repeat, the AI code that we will write, that will be the explicit code. So our explicit AI code will generate implicit code. Thank you, Ranjan sir. Thank you, Ranjan. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sujata. Thank you, Sujata. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you so much, Anjali ma'am. Thank you very much. Nia ma'am, thank you so much. You're welcome, Anuradha ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, sure, Rohan sir. Rohan sir, my last statement was, Rohan sir, okay, let me first clean that. Rohan sir, my last statement was that in any AI or machine learning or deep learning, right? If I say that this is the, suppose I want addition result of 3 and 4. All right, Rohan sir, I need addition result of 3 and 4. So what is 3 and 4? 3 and 4, can we say, Rohan sir, this is my input data? Are you with me, sir? Rohan sir? Uh, Okay, so 3 and 4 is I need addition result. So I need to supply this input data, but I also need to install the calculator software. So this program is the explicit software, right? I already told you that what does it mean by explicit program. So explicit program of calculator, we need to install that. So in this computer, I need to install this explicit program and input data. So this computer will generate output data that is 7. That is 7. Yes, Bharti ma'am. Yes, exactly. Yes. Oh, thank you, Mitlesh ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for such a lovely compliment. In fact, I'm really feeling honored, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So here, I just want to say that this data, this input data will be processed by the calculator program to produce the output. But in machine learning, we need to supply historical input data and historical output data to our AI program, and this AI program will generate another program. So if I ask you that in normal programming, output would be a data, but in AI program, the output is another program. Output is another program. Yes, Rohan sir, that's right. Old data means any previous data, any previous data. Is the previous data. So now I hope. Before I start, so please, I request everyone that. Oh, thank you so much, Rohan sir. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pooja, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for such a fantastic compliment. Okay, so I request, please give me confirmation, everything, all the concept that I've explained. If you are okay, all the 100% concept that I have explained, if you are okay, so please write it down 100% in the chat box so that I will ensure that everything that I've explained, are you with me till? Or if you have any doubt or any part, so you can definitely ask the question. So I'll be happy to answer it. So if you are 100% all the concept that what is traditional, what is machine learning, what is explicit, what is implicit. Okay. Prakash sir, may I know which part you missed that? Thank you so much, Binay Kumarji. Thank you so much. Oh, Vinay sir, thank you so much. Subhi ma'am, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. No, Jyoti ma'am. We can supply structured and unstructured both. So, in fact, here actually the better term should be not machine learning. Here, in fact, I have to write down AI, right? So, ma'am, you can see that here it is AI, not machine. AI means machine learning and deep learning both. Yes, I think that's a very good point. Jyoti ma'am, you have written. Yes, Jyoti ma'am, I agreed. Here, the more appropriate term is AI programming. AI programming. Okay. Thank you so much, Sujata. Thank you so much for such a lovely compliment. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Sudesh sir. Thank you so much. Prakash sir, did I miss that? Oh, Prakash sir, can you please repost your question so that I can answer because I got so many huge messages. So did I miss your some question? Please. Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thank you so much. No, Pranita ji, no. AI do not contain IoT. I repeat, AI do not contain IoT. Again, this is a very weird sentence. I'm using it. IoT is a way to collect data to supply to AI code. The role of IoT is just to collect the data. That's all the processing will be done by this AI logic. IoT, all IoT, like either you are using Raspberry Pi or any other through IoT device. So IoT is just the way to capture the data through the different means of sensors, right? This IoT is nothing to do with the like big data, is nothing to do with the Hadoop, nothing to be done with the data analytics. No, nothing. IoT device, like suppose we have some IoT device that will tell us the rain or some humidity information, or it will tell the temperature sensor. So IoT devices just to give the answer, that's all. Okay, Prakash sir, I request please allow me to answer this question. Once I will explain that what does it mean by minimize error and how can we do it? Because for that, first I have to explain what is generalization, right? What is generalization? What is best fit? What is how to find out the best fit? So because so many faculties are there, those were very new for that. So it could be possible that even if I explain those, I'll be using those technologies and most of the people are not familiar with those terminologies. Okay. Krishna sir, for reference book, Krishna sir, first of all the stories and examples and all the use case that I'm explaining, you won't get anywhere on the internet because these all are designed and invented by me only. But again, yes, Madhuri ma'am, I'll be explaining about that as well. Yes. So here. So I hope I have already given some basic examples that how to go ahead with the traditional what the basic foundation we have already done. But let me tell you the original official definition of machine learning is this one. Original official definition has this one. Okay. Yes, yes. Now, let me tell you that this is the original definition that is given by Tom and Michel. Miss, whatever I have explained, the original official technical definition is given by Mr. Tom and Michel, that machine learning is a well-defined learning task given by the symbol P, T, and E. P is the performance measure, T is the class of task, T and experience, E. So a computer program is said to learn if its performance, if uh, if its performance for uh, for the task in T as measured by P improves with experience C. So this is the original official definition, but do not worry about this. This definition is the same thing that I've explained. This definition is same thing I've explained, that if we have an algorithm, experience means old historical data. I repeat, experience stands for old historical data. So if the old historical data in AI is actually represented by capital letter E. E stands for experience, or I'll say that old data. So you can say that uh, 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 that if suppose there is a person who have learned driving a car just 4 days back, right? 4 days. So after 4 days, uh, the performance and the error, if I compare when the same person will learn the driving car for 4 months. So after 4 months, the performance will improve. After 4 years, the performance is even more improved. And that's what it written, that if the performance improves with the improvement of experience. So I think in a very depth and detail, with the help of some examples, I have explained all the basic fundamentals, uh, uh, fundamental terminologies. So now for hands-on implementations, yes. So Vijay ma'am, I hope you remember I told you three terminologies. I think you have asked a very good question. I have told you three terminologies. One is number one, reduce the error or increase the accuracy. But overall, the purpose of both of them is to improve the performance, and that performance is P, right? So first we will reduce the error, and after reducing, then we will measure the accuracy, and then we will get to know the performance. All right, Vijay, I hope now I have answered your question. Right? So it's not like that. First, we'll put our entire focus to reduce the error. And after reducing the error, we will measure that now after reducing, what is the accuracy? And then we'll get intuition about the performance. Thank you, Rohan sir. Thank you so much. So now I have explained all the basic foundation that is required for uh, the fundamental and foundation. So for hands-on implementation, now come back to that. I hope you remember yesterday I told you that to install the Anaconda. So please, you can try to open the Anaconda. You can see I am going to open Anaconda. So I have already given this link. So can you see that after installation, if you search Anaconda, you can see the very first option is Anaconda Navigator. Anaconda Navigator. So Anaconda Navigator, you have to click on that. So some black colored screen will open 2 or 3 times. So do not close. That will get closed automatically. 2 or 3 times it will open. So it will take a few seconds for the first time when you'll open this. So if you have already downloaded and installed, so please open this Anaconda. I've already clicked on that. I'm opening that. So this is the link. I've already shared the link. Thank you so much, Prakash sir. Thank you so much. Oh, well done, Vinod sir. Okay, well done, sir. So now you can see that in my machine also I have opened. Let me open. Bharti ma'am, actually this training is only for faculties. Actually, this is not for students, but like if you want for a student as well. So I request you can write to the ICT team. They will arrange a separate session for students as well. All right, Bharti ma'am. Because all the participants are actually faculties in this FDP. So you can write it on a mail to ICT team. They will organize it separate for the students. Okay. So now you can see that I have opened this one. I got this Anaconda Navigator. So Anaconda Navigator is a software that gives some shortcut to the tools of the Anaconda. I repeat, what does it mean by this? Let me explain. Suppose this is the computer. This is, oops. Oh, just a minute, please. Okay, so suppose this is a computer, and in this computer, we have installed Anaconda. So Anaconda is basically installed. Okay, so here Anaconda has been installed. So this Anaconda has multiple tools. This Anaconda software has multiple tools. So because most of the faculties are very new for this data science field, so let me tell that Anaconda has multiple tools internal to them. For example, let me draw it. So this is some tool. This is another tool. This is that tool. So there are various tools that I've drawn with the help of these rectangles. Now, Anaconda Navigator is the GUI. It's a GUI that gives shortcut to access and use these. Can you see that these are the can you see that this is the shortcut? So these tools are the part of Anaconda installation. So like suppose if I click on Jupyter Notebook, so internally it will open the Jupyter Notebook from the background. So Anaconda Navigator is a different thing. Anaconda is a different thing. Anaconda is the software installed in the hard disk. And Anaconda Navigator is the GUI for Anaconda. It's a GUI for Anaconda for managing and using the Anaconda. And what is Anaconda? It's a collection of multiple tools. It's a collection of various data science tools. It's a collection of various data science tools. Right? So this is the first thing. Yes, Vijayji, that's right. Anaconda is the explicit program. Kavita ma'am, installation is very simple. That's not a very complicated. You can just simply download it and double click and next. That's all is installation. It's just like you install any other software. Just download it and click next. Okay, then click finish. That's all is required to install it. Okay. So Kiran ma'am, if it is not showing navigator, Kiran ma'am, you have to search after installation. You have to type here. You have to click and you have to search it like Anaconda, like that. So if you search in your program, then you will get an option like Anaconda. Yes, Kakashinji, that's 4 GB RAM and i3. That works. Even in my previous FDPs, so many huge number of faculty, they use i3 and and 4 GB. So that was working on that. Yes, Kiran ma'am, if command prompt is opening, just wait for the first time. It will take some time. For the first time, it will take some time. Those command prompt will open and get closed for 3 to 4 times. And please, ma'am, when you click, please make sure that you are having this kind of logo, green circle logo. Don't click on this one. Click on this green circle logo. That will give us the GUI. Okay, I think Shanti ma'am has confirmed that she got. Okay, I think yes, Kiran ma'am. It seems like you clicked on this one. Please click on this anaconda with the green colored logo. Then you'll get this green colored logo. Okay. So now. Okay, well done. So can you see that here there is an option spider. There is an option spider. So you can do the practical on spider. So to open the spider, you can directly click on the launch button. If we click launch button, so spider will get open like this. Spider will get open like this. Okay. Rivati ji, it's not like that. Rivati, can you see that in my previous session, I already told you that you can use either Notepad, Idle, PyCharm, Spider, VS Code, Jupyter, or even Collapse. So all these options are there. I told you that you can use as per your choice. There is no restriction. I told you all these. You can use any one of this given list. Okay. So how to work with the spider? So I think spider you can easily open it. So after opening, the very first thing is you have to create a fresh new project. You have to create a fresh new project. How can we create it? There is an option project. Go to the project menu, go to the new project and click on the option new project option. Click on the option new project option. So when you click on that option, then it will open like this new directory, and here it is asking to enter the name of the project. So for example, I can write down any like data science project 01. Some name, you can assign some name over here. Oh, okay, Neeraj sir, that's quite simple. Okay, let me repeat one more time. Neeraj sir, yes. Okay, let me repeat one more time. So what I said that number one step is install the software. Number one step is install the software. Install. This is the first step. Second step is open Anaconda Navigator. Third is open Spider. Or better I'll say that launch the spider. Launch the spider. This is the third option. So these are the three steps I told to do this. So can you see that? First install the software. Install the software of install Anaconda. Install Anaconda. Open the Anaconda Navigator like this. And after opening Anaconda, you have to click on the launch button of Spider. This Spider will get installed automatically. Okay, so Kiran ma'am, if icons are not visible, can you see here, are you able to get the option like base? Can you tell me, are you getting the option like base root? Are you able to get the option base root? So you have to work with the base root, right? Don't search for like TensorFlow. You have to work for the base root, and then you just directly click on the, and still if you're not getting any icon, even after that you could see that there is a base root and still you're not getting option. It means the installation not done, or it might take some time for the first time. Yes, that's right, Vasanti ma'am. For the first time, that might take some more time. For the first time, it might take some time. Okay, so what I told you that for hands-on implementation, I have already done this one. We have to open the Anaconda, then launch the spider. And after launching the spider, next step is create a new project. Go to the project, go to the new project. Out of this project menu, Kiran ma'am, still you just wait for a few time, and even after a few time, still it is not opening. So then it could be possible that the installation might not done properly. So you have to reattempt the installation. So after uninstall and restart the computer and then try to reinstall it. Sure, ma'am. Sure, Kiran ma'am, of course. So we have to go to the project and then go to the new project and write down the project name over here. Yes, we can write down any project name like I'll say that data science project, data science project, data science project 01. You can write down the name data science project 01. Data science project 01, some name. So it will create an empty folder with this name at this location. It will create so you can create like this. So uh, here you can see that I have created a project and the name of the project is demo project. So uh, now whatever the project that you create, you could see on the left hand side. So first step is create a project. Now the second step is inside the project, right click on the project. And once if you right click, once if you right click on the project, then yes, Vinod sir, that's okay. That temp.py, that's okay, no issues. So now right click on the project, go to the new, and there is an option Python script. Select that. So it will ask you to create a new file. So you can write down any file name like we can say that demo practical or AI practical 01. You can write down any name and you can click on the save button. So, or you can write down like machine learning 01, any name. So you can see that there is one file that has been opened. And here, this is the code area where we can write down some code. So you can see I'm writing some test message. I'm writing some test message over here. And this test message is just simple print message. And I'm just writing a simple print messages. So these simple messages are just to check whether all of my codes are working properly or not, just to ensure that I have written one test messages. And for this test message, if I have to run this, so right click and then there is an option run the cell. So when I click run the cell, so you will see that immediately I got the output on the right hand side that ML is simple. So you can, all the hands-on implementation that I'll be explaining, you have to write it in this way and you have to run it and you'll get the output. This is the way that we are going to adopt it. So no issues, sir. You can open the project. Okay, so Neha ma'am, okay. Run button, you can right click anywhere on the code area. Look at this. This pop-up menu will appear. Right click anywhere on this screen and you will get a pop-up screen, and you can go on to the run cell and you will get that option. So you can see that we are getting the output. All right, Raghu sir, this is the one simple test message. Right click anywhere, anywhere on the code area. So you'll get an option run cell and just choose that option. So there are lots of other options. So we'll talk about later on. But right now you just okay. So that's quite simple. If you want to change, so can you see that there is a path? You can open that project from there. You can choose from there. There's an option to choose. You can choose from there. Okay. And sir, like if you have created projects somewhere else, so you can go to the project and there is an option open project, right? You can choose that project from any other location, and that project will get open over here, and then you can run it. All right, Sapna ma'am, I think now are you okay? I think now I have answered your question. You can go to the project, you can go to the open project, and you can open that from the browser. Okay. Oh, well done. I think Shilpa ma'am has confirmed that this code is working. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Raghu sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for answer. Thank you so much, Bharti ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have already implemented. It's giving the output. You can see it is giving the output like ML is simple. So I am getting this output over here. Okay. So that's all from my side. So today we have learned some core concept and some, I try to make you familiarize that some terminologies, that is the jargon of data science. So jargon of data science, now we can talk all about that. Uh, what is implicit program, what is explicit program, what does it mean by learning, what does it mean by training, what is the minimization of error. So we have learned some fundamental terminologies, and we have seen that how to open the code, how to create a project in the Spider, how to create a file, and how to run the file. So I recommend that for tomorrow's session, try to make yourself familiar with the Spider as well as Jupyter, right? And because this is the editor that we'll be using for all the hands-on implementation. So I'll be using Spider. Some of the example will be doing Spider. Some of the example I'll be doing in the Jupyter. And I will also explain how to work on the PyCharm. Yes, Vijayaji, that's all. We can do that directly as well. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, we can run that well as well. So thank you so much, and we'll be connecting again tomorrow. Yes, Prakash sir, I'll share you the link because on that link everything is there. I have to share some data set on which we'll be using it, so I'll be sharing that link in tomorrow's session. All right, sir. Thank you so much, Narana ji. Thank you so much for this lovely compliment. Thank you so much. Yeah. So thank you so much, Kavita ma'am. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Prakash sir. Thank you, Raghu sir. Thank you so much. No, Katir Vellikumaran sir, no, you have to just install Anaconda. For tomorrow's session, you have to just install Anaconda. That's all. Thank you, Jaslina ji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bharti ma'am. Thank you so much. Nidhi ma'am, after creating project, you have to create a file by right click on the project, go to the new, and then go to the Python script, write down the name of some file like practical01, save it, and then write down the code. Yes. Anandiji, don't worry. TensorFlow is not available because we have to configure it. I'll explain it later on. That we'll be using in the part of deep learning. So that is in upcoming part. Ma'am, CP Saranji, for ML input will be structured. But even if unstructured data is very small, if you have an image of very small, so very small images can also be used in machine learning. But for big images, machine learning algorithm do not perform better. Oh, sorry, I just forgot. Satya said, I just forgot. Now I'm ending the session, and after ending session, I will definitely inform them. Yesterday I noted down your detail, but I have forgot that. But today I'll share it definitely. But don't worry, sir, that will be done. Thank you, Vinod sir. Yeah, 2 GB. If you have a 2 GB of RAM, then this might be slow. That might be slow, sir. So I recommend you can increase the 4 GB RAM. You can add some more 4 GB RAM. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Malti ma'am. Oh, really, Malti ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, I'll be sharing all this. Yeah. Yes, Binay sir, sure. Binay sir, are you able to create the project? So once if you, you can, once you created the project, right click on the project. Can you see I got the new pop-up window when I right click on the project name on the left hand side. There is a new option. Then there is a Python script option. So you have to click on the Python script and write down any file name like machine learning 01 or any name, and we can click on this, right? And you'll get this code and you can write down this code. Yes, Kalpana ma'am, if your RAM is 2 GB, then it will be a bit slow. So I recommend either you can add like 4 GB RAM. I think your 4 GB RAM will be more supported. So then it will work much better. Okay, Vijay sir, what is ID? Okay, sir, ID is a software which gives some shortcut to do the repeated task. Like suppose if I have to compile, so if I have to run this code, I have to just right click and I need to select run. That's all, and I'll get the output. So if I'm writing the same code in Notepad, so this running process is a quite lengthy process. That execution is quite lengthy. So don't worry, I'll be explaining it into upcoming session. All right. So thank you so much. Yes, Kiran ma'am, that we will be open from here. You can just see there is a spider option. You can click from there. All right. So that's all from my side. And thank you so much, everyone. It was really a nice interaction with all of you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Pallavi ma'am. Thank you so much. So